Welcome back to the 4 Mile Circus. It's time for episode 8 of Play the Game. This is where I go onto Itch, dig around, look for some beauties, and drag them out into the light and play them for your delight, and hope that you go and play them yourself. First up is a right banger. It's called Like the Wind, and it's by AndyMan404. Now, I love this game. I played it loads. It comes with a seizure warning. I mean, it's like an accreditation almost. Its soundtrack's amazing. It was made in 48 hours for the Destruction Jam and the music video game Jam 2018. You are trying to escape destruction from this sort of writhing tentacle-filled monster behind you. Now, it's a beauty. I was straight away drawn to the style of it. It looks fantastic. The style of the runners and that sort of lightning that's following them behind with the landscape flashing all the different colours, and this rotating, it looks like a sort of buzzsaw in the middle of that's rotating along and just chomping up the land behind you with all these tentacles shooting out. It makes for a feast upon the eyes. The game itself is based around you pressing the corresponding keys on your keyboard for each runner. So in this instance, I'm pressing H and J and K. And I don't know if you ever played Daley Thompson's Decathlon or maybe track and field, like the button mashers. That's what I'm up to here. It's wrist destroying action, and as you run along, you're picking up other runners. In which as you can see, A and S have turned up. So I've now had to just decide I'm going to leave one behind. J and K gets it, and A and S is off now. Now A and S, I'm on my left hand here, so suddenly I've got a burst of speed here on my left hand. A&S is off and H and J has gone, and this is what happens. You get this cascading effect of runners, and yeah, I think the aim is to get as many runners through as you can, but that is proved difficult. The object is to get to the end of the landscape. I think they say it lasts about 4 minutes, the game, and come on, some of them you just flash past them so quickly you can't save them. Come on, JK, get to the end of the landscape and jump into that chopper that's flying up above us. But it's a fantastic game. I totally loved it. I actually whooped at the end, and when I did it, and punched the sky. That's how much I enjoyed it. And yeah, it's beautiful. It sounds fantastic, and you can hardly believe that this was made in 48 hours. I don't know if I mentioned, but to jump with the characters, you have to hold those keys down to make them jump over these various blocks that stop you. So there's that added dimension in there. G's got no chance. G's got no chance. I'm leaving G behind. G, your saw blade feast. So yeah, I would heartily recommend it. It's called Like the Wind, and it's available for free on Itch. The link is in the description below. Go get it. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it, and we are out of there. And look at that little pull out. Beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Next up is a game called AI.ONE, or Alone. I think you can read it that way. That's the way I did to start with. And it was a game. It's built by the wonderful people at Northwood Compass, and it was a game built in 17 days for the Unity Game Jam 2018, and the theme was spin. So the game centres around this turret that sits in the centre that's got 360 degrees firing, and it can fire these bolts, these shots that are different colours coded to the aliens. It's not so important at the start, as you can see any colour sort of works, but later on you start getting aliens that you have to make sure you fire the right colour at, otherwise it multiplies them. You also have a couple of other weapons at your disposal, as you saw there. It's like an A-bomb that kills everything in the nearby vicinity. Ooh. And a tractor beam. The tractor beam there. Here it is in effect, and that can drag bonuses towards you, which you can use then to power yourself up. I quite like the game. I liked its style straight away, and I also like the style of the environment that you're fighting in. It's this sort of low poly alien landscape. The music scores are excellent too. And overall, it's got a lot of playability. It's a generally well-made game that has got all the elements you want. As you progress further into the game, it gets busier and busier. I'm actually being protected there by that sort of rock behind me that the guys can't get through. The environment is destructible, but there don't seem to be I don't seem to be getting through that, which is helping me a great deal in this game. I've sort of cornered myself with my bonuses. So that's called AI.ONE, or Alone. It was made by Northwood Compass, and it's available for free on itch, and the description and a link to it will be at the bottom of the page. Okay, next up is a game called Torai I'm going to go with, and it's by Team Torai. They've kept that simple, and it's a game where you play as a bird flying through a mystical land where you interact with the spirits of sound to bring life to the floating islands of Atokai. I think I've got that right. The game happens in this low poly world which you can explore, which is quite sizable. There's lots of different elements. So there's definitely a discovery element to the game. And you interact with these relics. Here's one here. You interact with them, and these activate items around. So I think in this case it activates the trees, and these start then producing a noise which adds to the sort of sound landscape. And as you progress and you activate more and more things, you can activate fish or flying birds, you can activate picnic baskets, you can activate cattle, and when you fly near all of those, they'll produce a sound which adds to this general sound landscape, and then you start taking part. In effect, you start adding to it and affecting what you're hearing. And I found that once I played the game for quite a bit and got a few of these markers, and as you progress through those red gates into new lands, I found that I just had great fun exploring and triggering those noises and trying to get them to trigger together and to work together, and that was an unexpected pleasure within the game. But the game itself runs really well. It's a very nice idea. I found it very peaceful, very relaxing. There's plenty to do, plenty to explore, and I think I got it to about the fourth level before I just got captivated by the soundscape. There's the cattle there. You activate those. And these little foxes, I think they are. I couldn't quite get those guys going. But there you have it. It's a lovely game. It's called Ori. And it's available. I'm not sure which. And it's available for free on itch. There will be a link in the description below. So go and try it. Next out the gate is Bert 2. It's a crazy little game. It's about a teddy bear, Bert, who has to survive attacks by his worst nightmare, honey jars, who are invading his house to come and steal his honey. So Bert has been weaponized, and that's where the story starts. The game was developed by REN'PY Games, and it all takes place in this low poly house that is quite nicely made. There's distinct areas. There's a bathroom, kitchen, bedrooms. And you have to sort of defend the various entrance points from the honey jars attack. Now it's very similar to Call of Duty, the sort of zombie mode. You get to they break down those barriers, as you can see, those wooden barriers around that door. They break them down slowly, but you can go back and fix them once you've cleared them away. You gain points for every honey jar that you kill, and these can also be affected by these multipliers, these bonus items that you can pick up, which are these green cubes. Once you've got enough kills, you can afford to upgrade your weapons, which is a must. At the moment I'm using the pistol that you start with, but the sheer weight of numbers starts meaning that the pistol isn't enough. Here you see I'm about to repair this area here. I say, hammering planks against the windows whilst you're trying to stop the ones that have already got in. It gets quite tricky, that part, and eventually I found that I couldn't keep up with keeping the windows closed, only with the killing of the honey jars. The bonus items that you pick up can either repair your health, give you an additional $100, it can multiply your damage, and as you can see at the top, you have waves. This is currently wave 3, but you get 20 seconds to repair windows before the next wave attacks. Once you've collected enough money from killing the jars, you can then upgrade your weaponry, and as you see, the first upgrade is for an Uzi. And this is one of the real fun parts of the games. Great fun saving up, great fun getting the next weapon. Uzi works well, but again, the sheer weight of numbers means that you're quickly back in the weapons locker and upgrading to an AK-47. I love this. I love the sound of it. Listen to it. Very convincing. And as you can see, the AK-47 is perched on top of Bert's head, strapped to him, the poor soul. But even the AK-47 doesn't last long enough, and soon you're switching that out for a milligun, which is the final weapon, which again is a massive upgrade. But even that has its limitations against the sheer weight of numbers. I think there's 53 jars you can see in the bottom left-hand corner attacking me this time. And sooner or later, you just can't keep up with it. And there you go. It's called Bert 2. It's by REN'PY Games. It's available free on itch for download. There will be a link in the description below. Go and get it. It's great fun. I played for about 45 minutes before I was fully sated. And I think here I'm finally embracing death. Come to me, my jars. Let's embrace. There you go. Next up is a game I've been looking forward to showing you. It's called Moving, and it's by the wonderfully named Pickles Section. It's a pixel art based game in which you play as a plant that wants to move house, and you do that by placing your parasite on deer and travelling on the back of deers' backs. The deers can infect other deers, and they can use that parasite to kill anything that's attacking them. It's a wonderful game. It's wrapped up in this beautiful electronica warp label style music, which I totally loved, which was triggering all the right things for me. The game itself is a 2D scroller from left to right, and the art style's lovely. The styling, the way the deers move, the animation of those is lovely. As the deers become infected, as they fire the sort of parasite, the plant around, it infects them further, and eventually it totally overcomes their physicality, and they turn into sort of bushes and collapse, which was a lovely effect. There are other inhabitants of the world, which are these monkeys here, which you get into fights. You can dash with your deer, and so you can sort of get close enough to throw some infectious material at them, and then run for cover. Now, the authors were very clear in pointing out that this game isn't about shooting monkeys or infecting deer. It is in fact about moving. And that's something that becomes clear at the end of the game, though I'm not going to show you that part. You're going to have to go play that for yourself to discover the final unlocking, what makes the whole game come together. It's a very rounded game. As you can hear, there's another soundtrack coming in. I think there's 2 or 3 of them, all of which are lovely to listen to and really complement the style of the game. And I would heartily recommend going and downloading it. As I say, it's called Moving. It's by the wonderfully named Pickles Section, and it's available for free on itch to play. There will be a link in the description below, so go and try it. The final game is the epically named Time Warrior, in which you play as a Time Lord of Time Lordness, believe it or not, who has the magical Time Blade as his main weapon. You're sort of stuck between dungeons, and you must defend yourself against wiggly armed dudes. I called them zombies, they're calling them dudes. The game itself was made in 3 days for the Game Plus Jam, and it was made by the wonderful guys at Steel Dev. Now, as you can see, you're standing on the map. On either side of you, there's a green zone, which corresponds to the range of your sword. You use the left or the right mouse button to hit left or right. All sounds straightforward so far. You're fighting the clock, and each zombie you kill gives you additional time. There's also a multiplier, a streak multiplier. But the higher that multiplier, the more seconds you get per zombie death, or wiggly arm guy death. The problem is once you come off that streak, everything slows back down. I've just come off a 27 hit streak, and now all the wiggly arm guys have slowed down. There's not many of them, and I can't keep up with the clock. So it's constant tension where you're trying to fight the clock and kill the zombies in time to make it through. I won't lie, I played this for about 45 minutes. I found it wildly compelling, and I kept wanting to go back and improve on my score. So there you go, that's Time Warrior. It's by Steel Dev, and it's available for free on itch. There will be a link in the description below. Go and play it. And that brings us neatly to the end of episode 8 of Play the Game. 6 beauties there for you to go and try. I recommend you get over to itch and download them for free and give them some feedback. Let them know what you like. Alright, take care of yourselves. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, hit the like button, or even better, subscribe. Take care. Bye bye.